Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Derek, and I wanted to talk about a little bit about literature and reading. So there's a lot of forms of literature. There's novels, there's journals, there's articles, and there's some comic books and magazines. So I'm going to pick a couple of you guys to talk about what forms of literature you guys like to read, especially good novels, especially Martinez.
I like articles.
Articles, top.
Big with articles.
Wait, sir.
Novels.
So that's a lot. Those are good examples of literature. So it turns out I'm a little nerdy bug as well. I like to read. These are the books I read this year. Chaos by Tom O'Neill talks about the CIA experiments of MK Ultra and how that correlated to the Manson murders. The Sleep Experiment by Jeremy Bates talks about about the CIA, but it talks about how they deprived the individuals with sleep. They collaborated with Stanford University. I Heard You Paint Houses by Charles Brandon talks about the memoirs of a hitman who worked for the mob between the 1950s to the 1990s. You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins talks about how he overcame adversity when he was joining the Navy SEALs. The Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey talks about the responsibilities. The financial responsibilities that you can uphold and the steps you can take so you can have this financial responsibilities. And the Addiction of Anatomy by Howard Merkel talks about two surgeons in the early 1900s that were addicted to cocaine and heroin and conducted surgeries while they were under the influence of those substances. And The Body, which I'm currently reading by Bill Bryson, talks about the genetic variation of our bodies and how that developed over time. So you guys probably asking yourself, what does those forms of literature and reading has to do about my speech? So it turns out there's a lot of things that reading can do for you, specifically like benefits. And that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the benefits of memory, the benefits of comprehension, and the benefits of stress. So my speech is about the benefits of reading. So there's a variety of benefits, but I'm going to talk about three of them: memory, comprehension, and stress. So let's dive into memory. Emily Moratti conducted research on second graders and their ability to retain information and understand reading. And she found out in the results that if you apply a young child, specifically in the age, specifically in the kindergarten level, that once they arrive to the second grade, they can retain that information and they can also understand that type of reading. And that's one of the benefits of reading, and that it develops your memory. It helps you prevent cognitive decline over the ages. And that's just the first one. The second one is comprehension. So Joseph Harris and Carl Turkington wrote an article about dyslexia, and they defined dyslexia as having issues of word finding, speech impediment, and understanding and comprehension. So if you apply yourself from reading, if you have dyslexia, the benefits are that you understand that reading and have some form of comprehensional level, having the ability to pronounce words, having the ability to expand your vocabulary, and you have develop a stronger speech pattern. And if you have any type of stutters, it will fade away. And finally, the last benefit I'm going to talk about is stress. So we all have stress, right? Mental and physical. So Carly Page conducted a research at Sussex University on the impacts of reading and how it can benefit your mental state and also your physical state. So she found out that if you apply yourself in reading, right, it can lower your stress more than listening to music and to drinking coffee. And that's just the mental aspect. The physical aspects is that it normalizes your heart rate, it decreases your blood pressure, it lowers your anxiety, but most importantly, it lowers your bodily stress by 68%. And that's a huge benefit when it comes to reading, is that it can impact you in a very positive way. That's Martinez.
What does this have to do with like us or like views?
I'm glad you asked that. So it turns out Derek has his own personal struggles when it comes to reading, and I'm an example of this. So I was diagnosed with dyslexia at the age of 7, so I had issues when it came to reading. By default, I had to pick up a book at a young age, and I had to develop these abilities to read, and that's what reading did to me. Reading allowed me to do. It allowed me to develop a stronger comprehension and understanding of literature when I read. It also developed a stronger speech pattern. It also helped me develop my memory. Furthermore, it also allowed me to write more concisely, more clearly, and also it helped me expand my vocabulary. So now when I write or when I speak, I can speak more clearly and people can understand what I'm trying to say. And those are the benefits of reading, is that it can affect you in a very positive way, and specifically it can affect you by your memory, it can affect you by your comprehension, and it can affect you by with stress. And those are the benefits of reading.